She was a warrior, a strategist, a protector of cities, but also a patron of wisdom, weaving, and law. She was born from the mind of Zeus, fully grown and fully armed. She is Athena, the goddess of war, and so much more. In the pantheon of Greek mythology, few deities are as complex, as revered, or as symbolically rich as Athena. She is known as the goddess of war, but her story unfolds far beyond the battlefield. She embodies a unique duality, intellect and strength, strategy and compassion, reason and power. Today, we journey through the myths, meanings, and enduring legacy of Athena, the many-faced goddess of ancient Greece. Athena's origin is as extraordinary as her essence. She was not born in the way mortals or gods typically were. Instead, she sprang from the skull of Zeus himself. The myth tells us that Zeus swallowed his first wife, Metis, the goddess of wisdom, fearing a prophecy that her child would one day surpass him. Later, Zeus suffered an unbearable headache. To relieve his pain, the smith god Hephaestus struck his head with an axe. And from that divine fracture, Athena emerged, fully grown, clad in armor, armed with a spear and shield, her battle cry echoing across Olympus. Her birth was not just a spectacle. It was symbolic, a union of wisdom and power, of thought and action. In a way, Athena inherited both her parents' strengths, the cunning of Metis, and the authority of Zeus. This made her unique among the Olympians. She was the goddess of war, but not of bloodlust. That domain belonged to Ares. Athena represented strategic warfare, the discipline of combat, the righteous battle. She fought not for chaos, but for justice. Not for dominance, but for defense. Unlike Ares, who delighted in carnage, Athena valued precision and purpose. She was the battle commander, not the brawler. Her warfare was intellectual, calculated, planned, effective. She was the warrior of order, not of rage. But war was only one side of her divine persona. Athena was equally, and perhaps more profoundly, the goddess of wisdom. She presided over rational thought, diplomacy, logic, and knowledge. Cities, governments, and laws fell under her protection. She was said to have gifted humanity with vital tools of civilization: the bridle to tame horses, the plow to cultivate land, and the olive tree, symbol of peace, sustenance, and economic power. It was no accident that the greatest city of classical Greece bore her name. Athens, cradle of democracy, home of philosophers, artists, and architects, chose Athena as its patron deity after a legendary contest between her and Poseidon. While Poseidon offered a saltwater spring or a warhorse, Athena planted the first olive tree. The citizens saw in her gift not only nourishment, but foresight, prosperity, and peace. They named their city after her, and built the Parthenon in her honor. Yet Athena's influence didn't stop with politics or intellect. She was also a goddess of crafts and the arts, especially weaving. In one famous myth, a mortal woman named Arachne dared to challenge Athena in a contest of weaving. Arachne's skill was unmatched, and her tapestry, though beautiful, mocked the gods. Enraged by both the insult and the hubris, Athena destroyed the work and transformed Arachne into a spider, doomed to weave for eternity. Through this tale, Athena taught that creativity was divine, but pride, when unchecked, could be dangerous. Throughout ancient Greece, Athena's symbols reminded people of her presence and values. The owl, with its sharp vision and nocturnal wisdom, represented watchfulness and intelligence. The olive tree signified peace, renewal, and stability. And the aegis, her protective shield, often emblazoned with the terrifying head of Medusa, stood as a warning: wisdom can protect, but it can also strike fear into those who threaten order. Athena's impact on myth was not passive. She appeared time and again to guide, aid, and empower heroes. It was she who gave Perseus the polished shield he used to slay Medusa. She who guided Odysseus through his long, tortuous voyage home from Troy. She who counseled Achilles, kept watch over Heracles, and protected Diomedes. For those she favored, Athena was not just a deity, she was a mentor, a guardian, a strategist, and a divine companion. But Athena was not soft. When crossed, her fury was exacting. To Medusa, whose story varies widely, she brought transformation, from beauty to monster, whether as punishment or protection. To Arachne, she gave immortality through eternal labor. To those who ignored justice or acted with arrogance, Athena was a sharp reminder that wisdom is not only enlightening, it is powerful. Today, Athena's legacy lives on. In the towering ruins of the Parthenon. In the emblems of universities and armies. In literature, law, and leadership. She appears in modern fiction, comics, and pop culture, a symbol of female power, of strategic genius, of intellect in action. Her image adorns coins, badges, and crests across the world, as if her spirit still watches, still guides, still inspires. Athena was never just a goddess of war. She was war's conscience. She was civilization's architect, the protector of reason, the champion of justice, the spark behind invention, and the guardian of cities. She was balance, between power and wisdom, between creation and destruction. And in a world still wrestling with the chaos of conflict and the value of reason, Athena's story remains not only relevant, but vital. She asks us still, as she once asked the people of Athens, what kind of power do we choose? The brute force of Poseidon? Or the quiet strength of the olive tree? Athena, goddess of many faces. Warrior. Strategist. Inventor. Protector. And above all, wise beyond measure.